Hello everyone, welcome to the purple classes of the Rus Indica IS Academy Desh Badla Padhai Badlo. Today we will be talking about a very important flagship scheme that government of India has launched in 2014. Okay, that is Make in India. As you all know that Make in India a is a very important scheme if we are especially focusing on the manufacturing sector, because whenever we say Make in India, that means we are solely focusing on the manufacturing sector, but it is not similar to like that, because there are a lot of sector in which we are also including service sector also. But Make in India focuses on like how we can convert whatever we are getting from whatever we are importing from outside, and how we can convert that import into import substitution, and how we can make our own economy produce for our own selves, and how we can reduce our reliance on the products that are coming from outside in the form of the import. Okay, so today we will be discussing about the genesis of the Make in India, and then we will be understanding why this concept has been came, what all the sectors it is going to cover, and what are the concerns that are being raised about that, and what are the achievement that has been attracted by the Make in India. So all these things we will be discussing in this session. So let's start with our session right away. So this is Indian economy, Make in India. We will be discussing the schemes part. So one of the better scheme is Make in India. Okay. So Make in India, as you all know that as and when the first time the BJP government came into being in 2014. Okay. So on September 15th only, they have taken the very big step of launching the Make in India program. Okay. So the main focus area is that we wanted to convert our country. Okay, convert our country into a manufacturing and investment destination in the world. Okay, because we have to create certain situation and parameters we have to set in such a way that people should start the foreign companies should come and start investing in our country. They should come with the foreign capital and everything, and they should set up their manufacturing units in our country. Okay, so for that government has to do a lot of process. So here this Make in India program is led by the Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, which is coming under Ministry of Commerce and Industries. Okay, so this Make in India focuses on the investors and partners who are spreading globally, and ask them to come India and invest in India and be a part of the growth story of India. So this is what the concept of Make in India was there whenever when the Make in India came into being. Okay, so what was the program that has been launched along with that? So we know that it was launched by Prime Minister Narendra Modi in September 2014. Okay, so because during that time there was a very critical time that was going on. As you all know that the world has faced in 2008 and 9 the global financial crisis. Okay, global financial crisis, and the market has slowly developing it. Okay, so we wanted India to be a part of the global leader in this whole situation, and we can make India a part of a global hub throughout the world. Okay, so we know that there was a huge bubble that was there in 2013, like much hyped emerging markets bubble has been burst. Okay, there is nothing like that, and even the Indian growth rate story has fallen to its lowest level in the decade. Okay, there was a thinking that there was a rise of the emerging market. Okay, so that was a bubble that was there during that time, but that got also burst in 2013 because they are not able to even cope up their own strength itself. Okay, then there was a promise of the BRICS nation. You know, BRICS nation: Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Okay, the promise that they are facing, these are the emerging world, which are being seen as they will be the next industrial hub that they are going to be that they are going to be creating. But because of certain issues that were their personal issues that are going on between Brazil, then Brazil is facing some their own internal issue, Russia is facing their own issues. Okay, so that concept of that has also got faded, and India was tagged as the so-called fragile five. Fragile five means that this is in such a way that that can be break this country's units can break anytime. Okay, so even there was a debate, and people started questioning our world largest democracy was at risk or an opportunity. So there is a question that was happening whether we are at risk or whether we can provide some kind of opportunities. Okay, so this was, and As a India, as a 1.2 billion people nation having 17% of the world population, we India was too big to succeed or too big to fail. Okay, in both the scenario, India can be. Okay, so there are a lot of economic issues that we are facing during that time. So there is a need that there should be a very big and a very strong push has to be there. Okay, so that is why this whole concept of Make in India came into being. Okay, so what was the process that has been taken? See, we were having various policies related to the Make in India, but what was the change that they have done during this time, which is making them a totally different form of policies than the previous one? Okay, so the main thing was that there was a lot of issues related to the processes, policies. These were all outdated policies were there. Okay, so there has to be something which can put out a new policy framework. Okay, new policies, new processes which boost the manufacturing capabilities in India. Okay, so we need a very comprehensive overhaul. An unprecedented level of overhaul has to be done over there in order to remove these outdated processes and policies and bringing new policies and processes in all the aspects of manufacturing in our country. Okay, so we wanted to make India a global leader in manufacturing. So until and unless we remove the outdated things and we are not and until and unless we are not bringing the new things, it will not going to happen. Okay, so government has focused on totally changing the mindset. Like earlier there was like a order type of like authority based on thing is there. So government has removed all the level of authority, or they have removed, they have put it a minimum authority of the government and maximum governance. Government is running based on the policy of minimum government and maximum governance. So government will be providing you all the support wherever you are needing, and just only that much of rules and regulation we required, which is very must for this policy, and until and nothing other than that government is going to hamper with it. Okay, government will not interfere in any of the way. You just make the work, you make the manufacturing unit, bring in policies, bringing new processes, bringing new machines and everything, start making India in our country. Okay, and from outside also there are a lot of like import export policies are there, then FDI policy. Okay, FDI policy has been relaxed, import export policy have been much more rationalized in a better way in order to attract the investors from outside. Okay, so plan was that we wanted to provide a new strategies so that we can empower everybody. Okay, so there is a totally we need a totally different kind of campaign over here. Okay, that means the campaign should not be like that you are putting in newspaper or advertisement. Okay, the campaign has to happen at each and every places. Okay, because first of all we have to inculcate the confidence among the people. Okay, first of all, because people are always looking, okay, America is so big just because of the manufacturing unit, China, we cannot beat China. Okay, so this concept has got deep rooted in our mind, and we always question the Indians capability. Okay, and we are always comparing with the partners that are abroad, but we are not comparing with our own self. Okay, so there has to be a confidence that has to be inculcated into the mind of the people, into the mind of the industrialists, leaders and everybody. Okay, and then and here we have make a detailed plan. Proper framework has been provided for 25 important sector, but now this 25 has been converted into 27 sectors. Okay, and slowly we have even started reaching to the global, local and global audience, like we call it as vocal for local. Vocal for local means you buy the local products. These are the quality products. Focus on your own quality products. We wanted to make sure that you should enjoy the opportunities that are coming in India. Get the reforms in the India, that the policy reforms, then governance reforms and everything are being planned over here in order to make this whole plan a successful plan, right? Then what type of partnership that has to be dealt here, because make in India, here we will be needing an active support from the all the state governments. Okay, so there are a lot of layers that are being there. So government has invited all the union ministers, secretaries, state government, industry leaders, various knowledge partners. Okay, all stakeholders are being there. Okay, along with them they have done a national workshop on in December 2014. Okay, then they are being called, they have been asked like provide your views and suggestion on the things. Okay, and how we can formulate a better action plan, like how we can make an action plan so that we can contribute, like in India, like which is contributing 12 to 14% of manufacturing earlier, and how we can move it to 25% of the GDP by 2020. For that they wanted a plan. Okay, during that time. Okay, so all the industrial association, industrial leader, everybody came into being. Okay, everybody has provided their own roadmaps and everything. Okay, so this whole plan has led to a single largest manufacturing initiative that has been taken in history. Okay, everybody gave their suggestion how we can utilize the public leader, private leaders everywhere, industry leader and everywhere, and how we can make it a world largest manufacturing unit or make in India campaign in the world. Okay, our focus area is that we wanted to increase the contribution in the GDP of manufacturing from 12 to 14% to 25%. Okay, so this all global partners, global leaders have been, because until and unless we change the policies, until and unless we provide some kind of enabling environment for the people who wanted to invest in India on the safety of their investment and everything, because we know that in our country every time some places the government keeps on changing, sometimes the policy are not in place, and sometimes what happens is that there were various type of issues, local issues are there related to it. So government has to provide some guarantees for all these things, then only the global leaders, global companies will be coming and investing in India. Okay, so what was the like how we are finding out like the progress is there. So in a short space of time, okay, we have totally replaced the older systems, and now we have inculcated the user friendly system everywhere. Okay, so what are the government initiatives? First of all, you should know that there are a lot of things which government is focusing on, like what effort that government made to help and drive the investments, fostering the innovation, developing the skills area, protecting the intellectual property right. Okay, and building of the world class manufacturing service. So these are the important 5 areas where there where government is focusing on, because until and unless you are getting investment, you will not be able to attain anything in the manufacturing, right? So you need resources, you need investment, then only you can work on manufacturing area. Then along with the manufacturing, along with investment, the innovations has to come, because new innovations comes, like if we have a Tesla car. Okay, Tesla car, that is electric car, that has to be that manufacturing unit has to come in India in order to boost more and more innovative activities in the country. So that is why Ola Electric, right? Ola Electric is there, right? So Ola Electric is working because the Ola Electric company is getting a various type of investments from outside. That is why investment they are getting, why they are getting venture capitalist funds, why they are getting angel funds and everything, just because government has opened that area of the FDI from outside. Okay, so that is why in our country only you can see that there are around more than 89,000 startups are there. Okay, 89,000, more than 89,000 startups are there which are being breeding and fostering the innovation in our country. Along with that, government has even running various type of skill development programs are there, Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana, so that the people who are getting trained in these activities can be absorbed by the industry. And yes, protection of intellectual property right. Intellectual property is the property of a person who has created anything out of it. Okay, so government was focusing on this because though there are a lot of issues that has happened earlier because of the theft of the intellectual property. People are utilizing somebody's intellectual property and trying to make a business out of it. Okay, so until and unless we focus on all these 5 points, we'll not able to do manufacturing. So government has focused in all these important five sectors. Okay, so the most striking indicator of progress, like if we wanted to exactly find it out, like where exactly this Make in India got a very big hit, it is in the railway sector. Every day you can see we have a Vande Bharat Express going on. Okay, we have a bullet train that is going on. Okay, and these all are being and our Vande Bharat and various coach factories are there which are developing the coaches, the high end coaches in our own country. Then defense manufacturing, we are going ahead with that. Even we are making BrahMos missile. Okay, BrahMos missile we are creating and we are selling to outside countries, right? An insurance company, you can see like a lot of insurance company who are running their online insurance platform are there. Go Digit is there. Okay, and there are various other things are there who are running their work over here. Then medical devices companies are there because they are getting the highest level of FDI here, because government is providing them a full-fledged support in all these areas. Even government is providing in other areas also, but the top areas which we can call that the government is getting much more investment is in these areas. Okay, even the World Bank, World Bank always releases a report that is called Doing Business or Ease of Doing Business. So India has been steadily rising on the ranking of the ease of doing business. Then government has also created a investor facilitation center. Okay, so this is a very very important facility that came into being here. Under the investor facilitation center, the investor will be assisted in all the way possible, like if they are feeling any issue with regulatory approval or any other services, or what type of investment phase or any execution or aftercare effort. So this investor facilitation cell will be providing you with all the necessary help which you are requiring. Okay, so again this is again focusing on ease of doing business, correct? Then Indian embassies are there everywhere in the world. Indian embassies are there. Okay, so these Indian embassies are also disseminating the information regarding the various sectors. Like if Indian embassy there is in Japan, so they will be focusing on like how you can invest in India in the automobile sector. Okay, and if there is an Indian embassy in South Korea, so they can talk about the how you can invest in India in the semiconductor sector. Okay, so similarly, what is famous for what all places, there are embassies are there. These embassies are especially disseminating the information in the identified sector. These 25 sectors are there. Okay, so there is a totally different special management team is there. Okay, so if we are see here we have a Japan plus team is there. Okay, then we have a Korea plus team is there. Okay, so they are all facilitating fast track investment proposal from South Korea or Japan, so that they can easily able to invest in India without any type of issues related to the regulatory hurdle or anything like that. Okay, and there are a lot of sectors are there which are opened up for the FDI which were earlier not being opened. Okay, like defense manufacturing, railways, space, single brand retail, all are being open for the FDI. Okay, so this is further boosting our ease of doing business. Okay, because we have totally relaxed the regulatory policy and we have also relaxed our FDI policy under that. Then again we have opened around 6 industrial corridor, but now more and more industrial corridors are being set up everywhere. Okay, so this is again growing into a very harder and more like more optimistic way, and joining the race of the becoming in India as a world manufacturing hub. Okay, so we can see all the momentum, all the energy and all the optimism everywhere. Okay, so this Make in India is opening doors for various enterprises, companies and foreign investor and everywhere, because India is the world largest democracy and India is the world is a second now India is the largest population of the world, and then you can get a very big market over here. The only thing was that government support is needed for all these purpose. Now government is providing all the necessary support. Now government is saying that we are following a process of minimum government and maximum governance. Okay, now why people should invest in India? Why? Because India is the fastest growing economy, growing at a rate of 7 to 8% per annum. Okay, so fastest growing in the recent terms, right, in the GDP growth or FDI inflow. then India has a demographic advantage. More than 50% of the population is young, in the young category, like 15 to 45 years, if we are able to exactly find it out. Okay, so that is a demographic advantage. You will be getting the young population for the working class over here. Okay, then favorable policy, there are a lot of policies. We have a logistic policy, we have a national we have logistic policy, we have national infrastructure pipeline is there, we have Gati Shakti master plan is there, separate policy for each sector, policy for each sector is also there. Okay, government, developing infrastructure focuses on the road, railway, highways and everything, so that proper faster movement of goods and transport can happen together. And even at various places you can see special economic zone, then we have a seaports are getting created so that proper transfer of goods can take place. Then government structure and global innovation index, slowly India is moving ahead in the ladder. Okay, so if we go by the FDI inflow, we can see that in financial year 22-23, $70.97 billion came into being. Okay, FDI inflow over there. Okay, so and total FDI inflow stand at 46.03. okay, so this total FDI inflow for financial year this, and right now when we are like in 23-24, if we are focusing on during that time when the report has been made, it was 40.03. okay, and then India has all seen a GDP growth rate of 6 to 6.8% in 23-24, which is also called as the fastest growing economy of the world. Okay, and even government has launched a various comprehensive package of 20 lakh crore under the Atmanirbhar Bharat during the time of COVID. So government is also providing all the necessary support over there. And in 2022, India continued to dominate the world trade, being the 7th largest service exporter in the world. Okay, and it is said that India will achieve a service export target of $1 trillion by 2030. So these are all the favorable things. Okay, these are all the favorable things. So these points you should remember, and you can just put it on with their current affair data points. Okay, you can attach them with current affair data points. Now, what is the objective of Make in India campaign? So there are 5 important objectives of Make in India campaign. So the first objective of the Make in India is to attract the foreign investment, either in the form of FDI or FFI, whatever it is, but most focusing on FDI, foreign direct investment. Okay, because we need new industrialization, we need more investment, we wanted to increase our industrial base, because we are focusing on to surpass the China. That is why we are focusing more and more foreign investment. So that was the one objective that is there. Then manufacturing sector growth. So earlier there was 12 to 14% GDP contribution was there per annum, but now we are focusing on GDP contribution, like targeting 12 to 14% growth per annum in medium term. That means at least manufacturing growth should, so this is the manufacturing growth, we are expecting this much manufacturing growth per annum in medium term, so that by 2022, that was like previous 2 years, we should get at least 25% of the GDP contribution from the manufacturing sector, and that will only happen when we have a steady growth of 12 to 14% per annum, so that we can get a GDP contribution of 25% by 2025. That was our long-term goal was there. Okay, that was our long-term goal, because since starting only we have directly moved on to from the primary sector to the tertiary sector, and our manufacturing base has not been able to pick up the way it has to. Okay, so that is why in order to boost the manufacturing, because this is the area which can employ all the level of the resources, like what we call it as the formal employment, informal employment, like that, and labor class of people, then a slightly more educated class of people. So everybody can be employed in this manufacturing sector. So manufacturing sector will act like a absorber and also great creator of the jobs over there. Okay, and focus was there by 2022 we will be creating around 100 million additional jobs, that is close to 10 crore jobs that we wanted to to create. But the issue happens is in 2020 when we are hit by the COVID-19 pandemic. So this target has been further enhanced by few years. And with the Make in India, we are also focusing on export-led growth, because once we are going to manufacture, we need to increase our export base. Okay, because right now our balance of payment is not favorable in our country. Okay, not favorable. Okay, it is like we are sometimes we are always in deficit. Okay, so we are not in balance, so we have to make in certain way so that our exports becomes more and more than our import. So this is again we will be taking the help of the Make in India in this whole process. So what are the four important pillars that are there which are going to be focused in order to achieve the objective that has been there in the Make in India? So these are the four important pillars which are making Make in India a much more better initiative for everybody. So first of all, under the four pillar, we have a new processes. Okay, under the new processes, like why we are focusing on the new processes is that ease of doing business, because this is very, very important. So that is why if we wanted like our Make in India to work properly, we need to also generate entrepreneurship activities in our country. Entrepreneurship will only generate when we have ease of doing business. Ease of doing business will only happen when we simplify the processes, when we deregulate our industry, we make operations seamless operation. There will be no restriction as such like that. Okay, because various countries are there, they have their like a very smooth ease of doing processes are there. So we have to rationalize what are the processes right now we are having. We have to remove unnecessary processes. Okay, so Indian government has reduced various laws. Indian government has removed various processes and various things. So India has resulted in jumping to 63rd place in world of ease of doing business, and India is focusing on coming under 50. Okay, India is focusing on under coming 50 for ease of doing businesses. Okay, now the new infrastructure. Then under the new infrastructure side, we are developing the various high class infrastructure like industrial corridor, and whatever the new whatever the old infrastructure are there, we are again enhancing their capacity. Okay, we are enhancing their capacity of utilization. Okay, and then also streamlining the registration system of the industry. Under that, we have done two big schemes are there, policies are there: national infrastructure pipeline, and then PM Gati Shakti project, where we are linking the various ways like how the roadways, transport, and then logistic policies are going to getting connected everywhere. And national infrastructure pipeline will be focusing on with the help of 6 lakh crore rupees of investment over here. Okay, so new infrastructure will be utilized, will be utilizing these two important policies. Then new sectors, 27 important sectors have been identified in manufacturing area, infrastructure and service area. Okay, so there are, like, if you go to the Make in India website, you will be finding all these 27 sector lined up, and each and every detailed process has been there, because we will be not discussing, because that is not the part of our course is there, because that is going into very, very deeper part. Okay, so we have various examples like aerospace, defense, auto components, pharma, medical device, and everything. You can see these sectors have even grown in our last 7 to 8 and 9 to 10 years, right? And then we have a new mindset that we are creating, like how, like we have to move the government in such a way that, like, government should not regulate the industry, rather government should facilitate the industry. Okay, government should not too much regulation, but it should happen too much facilitation. Okay, government should act like a facilitator, not like a deep regulator, right? So this is what government is focusing on, and government has even started various like one district one product scheme government has started. We have a semiconductor ecosystem. For that, government has come with 79,000 crore rupees of national semiconductor mission is there. Okay, so this 4 pillars: new processes, new infrastructure, new sectors, and new mindset. Okay, so here you can see these sectors I have written. This is from the Make in India website, where you can go there. You can see this automobile component, aviation, biotech, electrical machinery, defense, construction, chemicals, electronic system. Okay, here we have taken semiconductor mission, right? Then food processing units are there, ITBP, okay, business process management, information technology, leather, media entertainment, mining, oil and gas, pharma. Okay, you can see there are a lot of media and entertainment company have come into being recently, and you can see a lot of online news channels have even come up recently, right? Then pharma company, port and shipping, you can see a lot of investment is coming the port and shipping. Then railway, you can see the visible phase. Okay, visible phase you can get. Renewable energy, maximum growth is happening over here in the renewable energy. Roads and highway, nobody is doubting about that, because you can see every day the road construction is getting very, very high. Space, government has even allowed private sector to enter into the space sector for launching and development of the technologies. Then textile and garment, which is the highest absorber, of the labor. Okay, then thermal power is there. Okay, then tourism and hospitality and wellness centers are there. Okay, so these are the important sector that has been being part of the Make in India, and government is providing all the necessary support in these areas. Okay, service sector, you can see information technology, tourism, hospitality, medical value, travel, transport, accounting, visual, audio visual, legal services, communication services, construction, environmental, financial service, educational service. These are all service where government is providing all the necessary support wherever it is needed. So if we go by the outcomes of that, so whenever we see like whether we are getting any investment or not, we will be always looking for the FDI data. Okay, so we have made most of our sectors have been made more and more liberal, where government is allowing up to 474% of the FDI, and mostly most of the sectors government is providing 100% FDI also is there. Okay, so government has followed a liberal and transparent policy in all these places, and this can be seen from the statistics, like by US dollar 45.15 billion has happened in 2014 and 15, and it has now reached a record high in 83.6 billion in 21-22, and expectation is there 22-23 will be US dollar 100 billion, and but because of the COVID-19 pandemic, we may finding a little bit less investment over here, and the new data is still awaited, so we will be updating this data with the current affairs. And then we have a production link incentives. So under the production link incentive, this is a very, very important schemes that government has launched in 2021, where government focuses on that. There are 14 key manufacturing sectors are there which are being launched with the production link incentive. The more and more you produce, the more and more you will get incentive from the government, especially the electronic manufacturing and pharma sector, because during that pharma we are focusing on vaccine production. During that vaccine production, what we were expecting is that more and more vaccine production will be done. So vaccine is, as you all know, that during the COVID-19 pandemic, we were be looking for more and more vaccine production. So these two sector, electronic sector, because why electronics? Because we are facing a very big issue of semiconductor crisis. We were facing semiconductor crisis because during that time the imports has virtually got stopped from China and various other places which are being providing us with semiconductors materials, right? So that is why government came with by especially focusing on electronics and pharmaceutical sector first, and along with that there are other key manufacturing sectors are there. For that this scheme has been launched. Okay, then what all things government has launched especially focused, so we have already discussed about the semiconductor ecosystem. So national single window system, okay, this is going to be a unified platform for the investor, where you will get all the approvals in a limited time frame. In a limited time frame you will get all the approvals from there for ease of doing business, and there is a time that has been allocated to each type of approval, otherwise it will be escalated to the senior authority. Okay, so at a single window only you will be applying for various type of approval, whether it is for land approval, electricity, or any permit, or any SEZ permit, or any kind of environmental clearance, or anything you will be needing. This all will be provided over there. PM Gati Shakti program, which we have already discussed, for infrastructure and logistic need, where various type of infrastructure, port, railway, road, telecom, and everything will be getting connected. So we have to provide with a integrated infra system. Okay, integrated infra system we have to provide. Then one district one product, we have already discussed about that, where we are promoting unique product from each districts. Okay, unique product like if we go for Amroha. Okay, Amroha. So in Amroha they are focusing on a musical instruments, right? As Amroha is for musical instruments, then we have Agra is for leather products, then Aligarh is for locks and hardware, Auraiya is for food processing like desi ghee, right? Amethi, for Munj products. Ayodhya is for jaggery, gold we call it as. Then Bagpat is for home furnishing. Okay, similarly, we have like Banda is there for stone craft is there. Then Chitrakoot is there for wooden toys. Okay, so this is how this every state and every district in our country has been looking for one district one product, and the government is promoting that one district and one product from each district, so that we can create a local hub for that, and this will be having a export potential to send it outside. Okay, then we have a semiconductor ecosystem where we are providing around US dollar 10 billion right now, around 80,000 crore rupees of incentive scheme has been launched, especially for semiconductor fabrication, display design, and ecosystem. Now, this is what are making dreams come true for Make in India, because we have digitalizing all the making the process, all the simplified process we are making. Then we are also controlling the quality of the manufacturing, so that we can compete with the international. We can compete with international standard. Okay, then we have a PM Gati Shakti National Master Plan, which we have already told of, and one district one product, which we have already told. Then how we are focusing on here, we have a PLI scheme, resilient supply chain, export potential enhancement, and massive employment opportunity will be created, and MSME will be also being provided, because government is providing a lot of external support to the MSME sector, especially under the Make in India campaign. Okay, so we wanted to make an India a global manufacturing giant. Okay, so this PLI scheme is utilizing FDI inflow. You can see that in financial year 2021 12 billion was there. Now it has been extended to, in 21-22 it has been from 12 billion to 21 billion, and we are still awaiting the data for 21-22, 23-24, like that. Okay, this is what we got it from the government side, so we have taken over here. So in order to make sure that you should know like how this progress is happening, like that. Okay, more than 50% growth has happened in this whole area. Okay, so here in the how we are making India's dream come true, because we are providing investment reforms. Okay, we are even strengthening whatever the initiative that we have taken. So all these things we are also strengthening. Liberal regulation or any laws that are there, ease of doing business, single window clearance, and reduction of the compliance is a big plus in all these areas. Okay, so now what is the assessment of the key factor? Like we said that we are getting all these things, but there has to be certain assessment of all these areas, right? So first of all, we have seen that the investment in the form of FDI that is coming, even our local and domestic investment is also being enhanced over here. Okay, so whatever the investment that has come in the Make in India, still the investment is slow in this whole process. If we go by the text of the economic survey, we can find that the gross fixed capital formation of the private sector. Why we measure the gross fixed capital formation is there, because this is a measure of aggregate investment that is coming. Okay, so that has been declining from 31.3% to 28.6% in 2017 and 18, based on the data that we are having. Okay, so we'll be updating this with our new data when we are having it. Okay, so this shows that there is a slowdown in the capital investment, that is particularly in the manufacturing sector. So whatever the investment that is coming, slowly the investment got declined during the period of 2017-18. During this time, the main thing was that there was a GST that came into being. Okay, after the market was picking up in 2020, we are hit by a COVID-19 pandemic. Okay, so because of that, the investment has further gone down during that time. Okay, so there was a non-performing asset crisis that being there over there, because the banking sector is really they are not having the proper amount of resources for industrial investment, because they are being plagued by a earlier non-performing asset at a very higher rates. Okay, so because they are also having a very bad debt that they are having a bad loan. So because they most close to a good amount of percentage got converted into non-performing asset, so they are very cautious about providing investment for the new businesses, and that is why the whole process got too much constrained, and there was an investment crunch. Okay, then output. Okay, we know that there is the way we manufacture, how we find out the output of a manufacturing sector. It is using a monthly index of IIP, industrial index of industrial production. Okay, so again this has shown a sporadic growth. That means not a very high growth. It was like a normal growth, and there was only 2 times that double digit growth has been seen over there. Okay, and for most of the month the growth rate was 3%, 4% or below that. Okay, so several months experienced the negative growth also, because if we go by the automobile sector, okay, so and we have an automobile sector, we have an auto component manufacturing sector is there, so there are a lot of fluctuation was there during that period, because during that time the government is changing various emission policy standards, then policy change is also happening. Then at the same time, electrical vehicle compulsory usage of your government has come up with a policy of electrical vehicle. Then there was a confusion that has happened whether to buy the IC engine, internal combustion engine, your automobile or electric vehicle. So because of that, there was a too much of confusion regarding the policy and type of subsidy that government is given. So again, this faced a downturn during that time. Okay, so because of that, there was sudden decrease in the consumer demand and disruption in the global supply chain because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Then what about the employment? We have seen that we wanted to create around 100 million additional manufacturing job during that time, but it has still not been met because the growth is not being there, because we are expecting that 12 to 14% growth we should be getting, but actually we are not even getting 3 to 4% of the growth during that time. And the unemployment rate has also become very, very high during that time as per government report. If we go by the textile sector, okay, because textile sector is a sector which is labor intensive sector, which employ a lot of people, a lot of labor they employ. So there was a stagnant growth that was happening over there because there's too much competition that was happening, and all of sudden fluctuation in the supply and demand, and then technological changes are happening. And at some places we have seen the automation and robotics are also being removing some part of the labor out of the job also, and using and the massive use of technologies in various sectors have also reduced the need of the labor. Then what is the reason for stagnation? So first of all, the reason for stagnation was over reliance on the foreign capital and global market, because since we are attracting the foreign capital, so our Make in India campaign was more a bit aligned towards reliance on the foreign capital, right? So until and unless we get a very good investment from outside, our Make in India campaign will not able to boost the way it has to boost. Okay. So because of that, this led to the uncertainties. Okay. So, and whatever the domestic production that we were doing, that has to be aligned with the volatile global demand and supply condition. That means the money will be coming only in the sector which are being booming during that time, and only the foreign people will be investing only at that sector which are providing some kind of growth support during that time. Okay, so it is not like that in India what is required. Okay, so the foreign capital is coming in the area where where the investor wanted to invest. It is not like that where India needs the investment, right? So this was the issue of global over reliance on the foreign capital. Like we have a tension between like USA, China. So this has all affected the global trade economies. Okay, and even it has impacted the Indian export market. Okay, so this led to the reduction in the demand of Indian manufactured good. Okay, like that. Then what is the second? Policy focus and sector selection. Okay, we have seen lot of we have encompassed too many sectors are there which have reduced the policy focus area. Okay, so many of these sectors did not leverage Indian comparative advantage. Like how? So how we can say that we are focusing on lot of sectors. Okay, we see that we have taken 27 sectors, right? So in these 27 sectors we are continuously focusing on these sectors, but whatever the advantage what we are having, okay, like we have advantages in IT sector, we have an advantage in pharmaceutical sector. Because of that, because of continuous focus on the 27 sector, the policy focus got shifted at all places. Okay, because sectors like IT and pharmaceutical, we have a natural advantage because we have a skilled labor, we have a existing infrastructure that is there. We are supplying the IT services outside, we are supplying the various type of medicine throughout the world, right? And then again we are focusing on heavy machinery and advanced electronics for which we do not have infrastructure. We are facing a lot of challenge in this area. Still we have to deviate, we have to send some resources towards these sectors also. Okay, because right now we are facing existing capability, we are not having a lot of we are having a lot of issues with these sectors right now. So we should focus more and more on IT and pharma, and slowly we should divert into the various other sectors. But right now in Make in India, we have totally selected all the 27 sectors like that. Okay, so that is why some sectors are booming and some sectors are lying stagnant like that. Okay, so policy focus and sector selection has to be done in a proper way. Because of that, stagnation is happening. Then implementation deficit. So our policymaker was focusing on looking for fiscal and current account deficit by addressing this whole issue. Okay, but neglected the implementation deficit. Okay, that means policy announcement and actual execution, there is a lot of gap that is there. Okay, policy announcement and actual execution, there is a lot of gap between them. Okay, so we have improved on ease of doing business. Okay, and slowly the investment is also coming in various sector. Okay, but investment growth is slow. land acquisition is still a hurdle, because until and unless you provide better land facility, better land acquisition rules, okay, you will not be able to provide better ease of doing business. And then again, bureaucratic red tapeism and regulatory complexities are still not being removed. They are still creating problem for better implementation of Make in India. So there is the implementation deficit that is also being part of it. Then investment crunch. We have declining domestic saving rate, NPA crisis is rising. So banking sector is very cautious in providing loans to new sectors, okay, because people are saving lower, the resource pool is getting lower and lower, NPA crisis is rising, okay. So there is a lot of gaps that is there in getting the loan from the bank and actually getting the loan from the bank, because there is a lot, because once you apply for an application, then you have to provide a lot of collaterals and everything, then this shows a delayed project, and then investment also gets stalled, working capital they are not getting, right? So this will all affect the overall growth of the manufacturing sector. So investment crunch, that is why we are totally most of the time we are dependent on the foreign capital for that. So we have to generate our own internal resources, correct? Then overestimation of industry growth and capacity, right? During the time when Make in India campaign we have launched, we have estimated that at least 12 to 14% growth in the manufacturing we will be getting, okay. So we have not properly compared, we have done overestimation of our own growth rate, okay. So this was becoming overly ambitious, okay, because we were under the very low growth in the manufacturing sector. So this became overly ambitious, okay, because we have not even checked the proper historical growth data, and that become overly ambitious, and because of that we were not able to achieve even the double digit growth. Only 2 times we are able to achieve the double digit growth, but that too also not able to sustain longer time, okay, because our industrial growth was never be at such high level. And if you are expecting that we can increase by a double digit growth, then you require a very heavy investment in all these areas, which you are not having your own resources for that, okay. So until and unless we are having resource capability, infrastructure that we are needing, then getting this type of annual growth is unrealistic. We should be realistic in estimating our own growth potential. Then global economic uncertainty, that also we have to keep in mind, okay. Uncertainties like all of a sudden some disaster happen at any place, or any war. Right now we have a Russia Ukraine war that is going on, then Israel Hamas war that is going on. So these are all global uncertainties. All of a sudden it can jeopardize our own success of Make in India, because we are too dependent on various aspects from the outer world, okay. So again, trade barriers can come, protectionist policies can come. All of a sudden some countries may put some kind of trade barriers, some countries may put various type of protectionist policies, okay, for Indian products or something like that. So this also has to be kept in mind, okay, because USA like has put lot of have imposed tariffs and trade barriers on the products which are being exported to these countries, like steels and textile, because mostly we are sending steel and textile to USA, European Union and various other places. So in order to protect their industry, they put a lot of tariffs and protectionist barriers they put, okay. So because of that, they overall competitiveness of our own product gets diluted over there, okay. So global economic uncertainties are also being part of that, which have created Indian manufacturing is still at a bay right now. Still it is remaining stagnant at that point, okay. So what was the progress so far we have made in the Make in India, okay. So if we go by the progress, most importantly we have boosted investment in IT and manufacturing sectors. There are certain manufacturing sectors are there which have got a numerous investment from outside, from global and foreign investors, okay. So In 2015, what has happened? India has surpassed both USA and China to become the top destination of foreign direct investment. Okay, this shows that this make in India and policy framework of make in India, at the same time ease of doing business, is getting boosted in our country, then only because our foreign direct investment is getting increased. Government is focusing on boosting of MSME because they are providing 10 crore employment to the people, and there around millions of MSMEs are there in our country, which are micro, small and medium enterprises are there. They are being run on a zero defect and zero effect slogan. That is the main slogan under the Make in India, okay, for MSME sector. Okay, so they have even also started making a very high quality product with minimal environmental impact. Okay, very high quality product with very minimal environmental impact. Okay, so there are a lot of MSMEs are there which are focusing on the manufacturing product. Okay, and they are producing zero defects. Okay, zero defects, and these products are also made in such a way that they are not harming the environment, or if they are good, they are harming at a very minimal level. Okay, so this will helpful in boosting our export potential, because we need product which is environmental friendly, because lot of developed world countries are there. They are needing product which are much more better for the environment, and they wanted a very high quality product with zero defect. So this is again boosting our whole process. Then accountability. Okay, so in 2017 in July we have implemented the goods and service tax. So good and service tax has tried to create a kind of a transparency, and also it streamlined the whole process and made one tax. Okay, right, within industry. Now everywhere, wherever you go in the country, you will get only a single tax system, that is GST system, right? So there are four type of tax. One is 5%, one is 12%, one is 18%, and one is 28%. Okay, so you will be getting GST bill everywhere, and if you are not getting, you please take the bill, because you can take the input tax credit if you are any of the manufacturer. Okay, so this whole process make more and more transparent way of working, because the people who wanted to invest in our country, the investor that who wanted to invest in the country, they are very apprehensive about the taxation system in the country. So GST has made them more and more clear and transparent whole process. Okay, so this process has totally digitalized all the ways, all the procedures, and even reduced the bureaucratic hurdles in all the way possible. Then ease of doing business. How we have made ease of doing business? Okay, we have simplified the process, simplified the rules, removed the outdated rules, and in some rules and laws are there in which you have to be you can be jailed also, that has been put under the economic sanctions. Okay, like that. Okay, so their efforts, so now India has moved towards the 63rd place in the World Bank of ease of doing business. Then boosting of the research area. So there is a very important in the pharmaceutical sector, there is a launch of Rotavac, the first indigenously developed manufactured rotavirus vaccine was there. Okay, so India has a lot of incubator. There are various places incubators are running for IT sector. Incubators are being running for biotech sector. Incubators are being running for automobile sector. So everywhere incubators are running, which are researching on various new and other technologies and fostering innovations everywhere. Okay, then what are the shortcomings in meeting the objective? Obviously there are a lot of shortcomings were there. First of all, there is a limited impact on the manufacturing. Okay, this was our overemphasis that we have done over here, that was called fall short of. Okay, so only 2 times we got double digit growth. Then employment generation was also not happen, or whatever we needed. Okay, and there is a decrease investment that was going on, and it is slowly declining. So we have so here we have put it the points again. Okay, we have put the points again, so that while reading the lecture you will get like all of a sudden you can get again the same points, so that in your subconscious memory the points get stored. Okay, so what are the measures that is needed to improve the outcome? So under the very important measure, first of all, we are looking towards the labor reforms. Okay, the labor laws has to be regulate has to be needed a urgent reform in these areas, because there are a lot of people who are being excluded and they are being outside the labor laws benefits. Okay, that is why they are facing a lot of violence and various other things over there. Okay, because most of the workers in our countries are working in informal sector and they are lacking all the benefits of the formal sector. Okay, so that is for the worker. At the same time, we need to provide support to a person who is having any kind of industry or something, where they have to be also supported. Like if they have a worker who is a kind of a person who is not trying, who is creating problems to the working of the industry, then labor laws also have to support the industry owner also. Okay, first of all, we have to support the labor in such a way that the proper wages they should get, social security benefits should they get, they should have a better, safer working condition they should get. Okay, so these labor reforms are also needed if we wanted to enhance the capacity of our own labor. Then simplifying tax system, obviously we have also implemented the GST system, and we need further improvement in this, so that if like there are a lot of people are there who are complaining about the loss of GST, and people are trying to ship on off the taxes to various other places. Sometimes there are a lot of paperwork is also impaired, because of that corruption happens, and sometimes the red tapeism also occurs. So there is a much more simplification taxation system needed, and integrated taxation system is needed. Then we need land reform measures. Okay, stringent land acquisition laws has to be passed, because this is a major barrier in attracting the foreign investment. Okay, we have to make sure that properly land acquisition policy should be there. People should be get defended based on the way they have the land. People have to be informed properly for what their land is needed, what government is going to provide, and that should all happen in a time bound manner, right? Otherwise, if that protest is happening and all of a sudden court cases are happening and so this whole process failed ho jata hai. Okay, so this further reduces the whole investment climate that we wanted to create under the Make in India. Okay, so until and unless we do better land reform, so everybody should feel attracted towards it. Nobody should feel cheated, neither the industry owner, neither the person, neither the farmer, or those who are having the land. Then skill training, government is running a lot of skill development program like Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana, then Yuva Kaushal Kendra Yojana. There are that Kaushal Kendra are being developed everywhere, because government wanted to bridge the gap between the skills that is needed and what industry is required. So this is again a very, very important thing. I have already taken the lecture on the skill training. You can go to there and you can find out the skill training, what government is providing under the skill training, at which all places the government is providing these skill training, and what are the subjects they are providing the skill training. Then cooperative federalism, because India is being the union of the states, so you need to take the help, and you are heavily dependent on the states for all your most of your works. Okay, so you have to make sure that there should be a cooperative federalism should happen, because every state should have a better resource mapping. Every state should get the resources of the country. Every state should get the resources based on the type of a contribution that they are providing to the betterment and the national development of the country. And we should incentivize the top performing states, and we should help the non-performing states. Okay, so similar way cooperative federalism has to go. Like the similar way in the GST, we can see how the better cooperative federalism is happening, where government is providing, even the losses also central government is bearing of the states. Okay, now we are moving towards the topic which is very, very important, regarding like we are making industrial corridors in our country. Okay, so this is very, very important, especially focusing on development of Make in India. Until and unless we have an industrial corridor where all the facilities which is required by the industries are not there, then we will not be able to develop as a whole nation. So industrial corridor is the main epic center from where the Make in India is going to lift off. Okay, so whenever we talk of the industrial corridor, we are thinking about the relation between industry and infrastructure. Like we should create an infrastructure which is well sufficient for various type of industry, which will provide you with a single unit based, single location based, or a places where the whole assembly chains can be created, where the whole we call it as a hub and spoke model also can be created over there, which will boost the socio-economic development. Like if we have this highway, okay, if this highway is going on and we declare this highway as an industrial corridor, okay, okay, so along these highway sidelines this whole corridor will be developing. Okay, so this will further boost the area which are nearby these industrial corridors. Sorry, really sorry, I just got a cold little bit. Okay, so how we are focusing on developing industrial corridor, we will be trying to create over there a transportation network, high speed rail network. We have even started Vande Bharat, and now we are focusing on bullet trains also, right? Then we have Vande Bharat, then we have various type of other train services are there, which will be utilized over there, which will provide you a high speed road connectivity over there. Then ports and airports connectivity will be provided, where proper state of the art equipments that will be there, who will be handling the cargos and everything, right? Then SEZ, special economic region and industrial regions, will be created over there. Logistic park, where multi-modal logistic, okay, a logistic policy was there, okay, so under that we are creating multi-modal logistic park, okay, multi-modal logistic parks, which will be integrating the work of logistics everywhere. Transshipment hub, knowledge park, everything will be created, and state of the art urban infrastructure. So whenever we are saying that we are developing an industrial park, exactly we are trying to develop all these areas so that the industry should get the benefit this is what the incentives that we can provide to the industry, that you come here and come as a plug and play model, okay, like a plug and play model. That means you come there and on the first day only you can start your production, okay, you don't have to apply for any other clearances and all those things, because in the industrial corridor you will be getting all these things. Even along with that industrial corridor we will be creating special economic zones, okay, where we will get normally things in the plug and play model, right? So there are around 11 industrial corridor that has been approved, and around 32 projects are already going on. If you more, you might be knowing these names: Delhi Mumbai Industrial Corridor, Chennai Bangalore Industrial Corridor. Chennai Bangalore Industrial Corridor now has been extended to Kochi via Coimbatore. Then Amritsar Kolkata, Hyderabad Nagpur, Hyderabad Warangal, Hyderabad Bangalore, Bangalore Mumbai, East Coast Economic Zone, Odisha Economic Zone, Delhi Nagpur. Okay, so these are the big names through these. So they are all being developed nearby highways, nearby expressway, and everywhere. So these are all being are developed because this will further boost the regional development, okay, regional development, and they will further boost the economic growth of that area, okay, because along these industrial corridor the whole set of amenities and service and socio-economic development will be taking place, okay. So how these industrial corridors will be going to be built, because they will be built based on the framework under PM Gati Shakti plan, national master plan, okay. So we wanted to develop these industrial corridor as proper systematic. That means it's not be like a haphazard, like something we are making here, something there. No, it should be very systematic, so that it should be looking like a futuristic model where everything is connected, everything is working in a seamless way. Like our road is properly connected with railway is properly connected with ports are connected with the logistic network properly, and everything. So this is all getting connected properly, so that we are having a seamless flow of goods and services that are taking place, okay. So this is what under that National Industrial Corridor Development Implementator Trust will be overseeing the implementation of these all projects, okay. Then smart city and employment, we know that along these industrial corridor there will be a lot of smart city and state of the art infrastructure will be coming, okay. Here you can see Dholera we are focusing on, then Shindra, Bidkin, and then Vikram Udyogpuri in Madhya Pradesh. These are all being seen as a smart city, that is the futuristic city, futuristic city that we are focusing on, that will be full of state of the art infrastructure and everything, and they will be like a plug and play infrastructure that you will be getting over there. Okay, then we are creating integrated industrial township near Greater Noida, so land allotments and everything. So around 16,760 crore rupees of investment has already been done. Then we have taken global collaboration, around 851 acre land have been allocated especially for investment that is coming from outside, okay, like South Korea, Russia, China, UK, Japan, India. So here you can see we are allocating the land first. Okay, the main thing is that until and unless we provide land, so the investment will be finding a very difficult way to move into. Okay, so first of all you have to show the land, and you have a clear cut titles of the land should be there. Okay, then now we are moving towards what are the challenges that Make in India face. Obviously we have discussed the bureaucratic hurdles were there. Okay, because everywhere, if we go anywhere, we are finding some way or the other bureaucratic hurdles. Somewhere there are a lot of bureaucratic hurdles, the files are getting delayed, delay in getting regulatory approvals and all those things. That is why it is disheartening and discouraging the potential investor, and that is why we have a slow growth of the projects that are happening. Then there are a lot of infrastructure bottlenecks are there, because even if some investment is coming, we are still suffering from the basic infrastructure like proper water connectivity, proper electricity connectivity, then proper pavement areas and everything. All these things are creating a lot of problems. These are basic infrastructure. So because of these poor infrastructure, it leads to the high increase in operational cost, and obviously it will hurt the overall productivity. Then skilled labor shortage. You know, in India there is a lot of mismatch what industries require and what exactly you are teaching. Okay, so there is a skill gap. There is a lot of skill gap is present. So the major focus area has to be on skill, especially where India is leading. Where India is leading, then only we will able to absorb the amount of resource that we are generating. You know, there are a lot of courses in ITIs that are going on, which is related to automotive engineering and automotive servicing and everything. Okay, then again we are looking for the electronic sector, right? So they require specialized skills. So there is a need, because we are not having right now readily available the skill which is required for highly specialized sector. So we need our workforce to be included. So we need to provide our workforce with the skills which are to be immediately absorbed by the industry. Okay, so this gap has to be provided. This gap has to be necessarily filled with the help of training and proper development program. Okay, so obviously Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana is there. Then Pradhan Mantri, then we have a various type of Yuva Karyakrams are there. Okay, and Grameen Kaushal Yojana is also there. These are time consuming, 3 months, 4 months, 6 month trainings are there, but they are providing you with very important certificate. Star scheme is there. Okay, so they will be providing you with important certification, and then you can easily apply for the jobs and you can easily absorb by the industry. Then global competition, like we have a China, Vietnam, they are offering us a due competition because they have a well established manufacturing ecosystem. Okay, and obviously when they have a well managed manufacturing system, obviously they will be having a very important cost advantages, right? So similarly we also have to provide a well managed infrastructure. Okay, we have to provide more innovation, quality and cost effective things. Then only we can compete with our peers, right? Okay, then we have a lot of environmental regulations are there. Okay, so compliance with stringent environmental regulation can be challenging. Obviously when we are acting like a growing economy, and when the international world is pressing on us to focus more on environment, and all the burden of all the burden of saving the environment comes on the developing world. So this is not a correct notion, right? So but still there are a lot of stringent environmental regulations are there. There is a strict norm on emission is there. There is a strict norm for the waste management is there, plastic management is there. Okay, we can utilize various investment in technologies and process, and we can further boost our environmental regulation. Okay, we know that sustainable development goals are have to be achieved. Okay, so we have to follow better regulations, and once we are able to follow these regulation, obviously this increase our operational cost. Okay, and then it complicates the compliance for the manufacturer, because in India, if we are following too much of compliance, and there is a huge operational cost that comes, and automatically we are making then because of that we go outside the control of our own price control. Okay, because if we are following too much of regulation, then the cost competition that we wanted to have will not remain, and automatically our cost become our product becomes costly, and because of that we lose the market of us. Then financial issues are there. Okay, accessing finance, which we have already discussed, that is a very very huge issue, especially for medium sized enterprises which are not having better they are not having proper documentation and various type of records they wanted to keep, so they are not getting proper financing, and they have lot of non performing assets are also being created, and even if they get the loan, they are getting charged at very high interest rate, and stringent lending criterias are being given. Okay, so this limited if they are getting and this limits their expansion. Okay, this restricts their expansion, modernizing their expansion or manufacturing or unit. Obviously this will hurt their competitiveness. Then after that, land acquisition, that we have already discussed, is again time consuming process. So beforehand only we should have a land pool. Okay, or land bank has to be created, where all the type of land has to be put on a portal. Okay, any company, any industry, those who wanted to come, they can just opt for there, and they can discuss like what type of land they want. But obviously this is not happening, so this is again a time consuming, and lot of delays keeps on happening. We know Singur project, Singur project that came of Tata Nano. Okay, the Singur project of Tata Nano, it's because there's a lot of protest happen because of the land acquisition, and because of that lot of litigations are happening, and because of that the project gets stalled, cost gets increased, and obviously it will demoralize the investor. Then technology adoption. Okay, so we know that we are moving towards the industry 4.0. Okay, we are moving towards industry 4.0, like machine learning, artificial intelligence, data science, robotics. Okay, all these things are being inculcated into the manufacturing technologies right now. Okay, but the issue is that in India, most of the product that is coming from the manufacturing comes from the small and medium enterprise, SME enterprise. Okay, so because of their costing, okay, they are, and because of their proper technical expertise, they are not happening. These industry faces a huge challenge in adopting the industry 4.0 manufacturing technologies. Okay, so that is why there is a very slow adoption of these technologies. Once they are having a very very slow adoption of these technologies, what will happen is that there will be showing a lower productivity, because they are adopting it slowly, so they have a lower productivity, and they, because of that, there is a reduced competitiveness that will happen. Okay, then regional disparities. Manufacturing units are being stationed at only few states like your Maharashtra, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu. Okay, so these are being part, and normally these are the coastal state, and it is easy for a product to be transported outside the country. Okay, so this lead to the concentration. Okay, so we have to remove this concentration, and we have to have a balanced regional growth. Okay, we should have a balanced regional growth, so that even our northeast side, our western side, eastern side, southern side, all should grow in a proper way. Okay, so that the regional disparity, that is why this migration of the people is happening. Okay, that is why you can see that the most of the people, those who are migrating from the villages of the country, especially Bihar and UP, they are going to Gujarat, Surat, Mumbai, and then Chennai, Kolkata, at every places, because they are not finding jobs in their local areas. Okay, so that is why the main issue is that we because of this uneven development, okay, this socio-economic inequality gets very high. Okay, so obviously this will limit the potential of Make in India. So Make in India, that is why one district one product, Okay, so we are boosting every district with one product. Okay, let one product get matches with the world, and let this product should be developed over there. Okay, so this will help in promotion of the regional and balanced growth always. Now, what is the progress that we have seen? Again, FDI inflow, you can see here, has been rising after the COVID-19 pandemic, from for 20 billion to 21 billion to 8 40 60 81 billion, like that it is going. So this surge shows that there is a global confidence that is rising. Okay, this global confidence is rising among the Indian industries. Okay, then about the sector, about the Indian industries and India's environment. Okay, environment and the stable government. Then sectoral growth. Okay, you know, automotive growth in our country, like Suzuki, Hyundai, Ford, they are doing investment in all the places, whether it is Haryana, whether it is Gujarat. Okay, and here in Gujarat, in partnership with the Toyota for electrical vehicle, which is again a very big industry that is coming up right now, batteries and electric vehicles, right? So these investments that are coming, they are also increasing the production capability, and they are also bringing new innovations. They are bringing new innovations into the country, and new technologies also to the country they are bringing. Then infrastructure development, as I told you, like we have done regarding the industrial corridor that we have recently discussed, like Delhi Mumbai industrial corridor has been made, then Delhi Kolkata, then we have Amritsar Kolkata, Amritsar Delhi is there. Okay, like these corridors are getting developed, they are being provided with the state of the art technologies and infrastructure, right? Proper smoother supply chain, logistic and manufacturing efficiency is getting created. So these are the progress that we are seeing. Okay, then ease of doing business, you know, earlier in 2014 we were 2014 at 142nd level, then in 2019 we have become a 63rd, right? Because we are getting it is easy to start a business in India right now. It is easy to get a construction permit right now. Okay, you can easily do a trading across the border, so no issue right now. So why? Simplified regulatory procedures, reduction in the bureaucratic hurdles. So this is all making India attractive. Okay, this is why this make in India is getting attractive. Then slowly we are moving toward digital transformation. You can see everything you can get online, every approval you can get online. Digital India mission, you know, India is running a digital India mission. Okay, along with that, the government is promoting digital literacy among all the people. You know, companies like Infosys and Tata Consultancy, then Mahindra, then we have Tech Mahindra is there, we have HCL is there. They are being forefront in integrating the digital technologies in manufacturing process and providing the support. You know, Infosys has built the income tax software. Okay, income tax software and GST software, right? So this is how these tech giants are trying to create a healthy and attractive atmosphere of our country. Okay, so this all digital infrastructure is streamlining the operations, also improving the efficiencies and innovation in the work. Okay, then sector specific policies are also getting created. You know, we have discussed about the production link incentives, right, for electronics, pharmaceutical, textile. Okay, textile is also being giving too much boost over here. Electronic sector, government is providing like a semiconductor mission. Okay, semiconductor mission for 79,000 crore rupees. Then pharmaceutical. Okay, so production link incentives is a boost that is providing to various sectors of our country. So this has led to the generation of they have increased the production capacity also. They have even created jobs also, and they are able to provide new technologies, and we are able to get the technology transfer from the outside countries also in this whole aspect. Now we will be seeing now the seventh one is startup ecosystem. Okay, so Indian startup ecosystem, you know, we have right now around more than 89,000 startup has been created, and most of them, and around what we call it as around 100 of them have even become unicorn. Okay, unicorn. Okay, most of them like out of 89,000 we have a lot of startups that have become unicorn. Like we have a Zomato is there, then we were having Paytm was there, we were having a Byju's was there earlier, but I don't know what about the right now. Then we have Zerodha. okay, Zerodha is there, right? That is a trading platform is there, right? Then we have various educational things are there, Paytm, financial services, food, the tech giants. Then we are getting Amazon, Flipkart. Okay, all these are being the success stories that we are having. Ola Electric, Ether Energy. Okay, Ether is bringing up with their own electric cars and everything, right? So the impact is very high, and we can see this on the ground. So we are having a vibrant ecosystem, and we are also promoting a cultural of innovation, and at every places in the manufacturing unit we are inculcating all the type of innovation and scientific knowledge everywhere. Then global supply chain integration like we have a integrated global supply chain, okay, like in a pharmaceutical sector, automotive sector, during the time of COVID-19 pandemic, we are able to see that how the vaccine transferred to the various part of the world in a shortest period of time. So this shows that there is a very good integration of global supply chains that is there. Okay, so because of this integration of global supply chains, there is a enhanced market access that is happening. In India also, like earlier, Amazon was there, that is they are about to send the orders to go to the remote villages. Okay, to go to the remote villages, they were have to wait for 8 to 10 days, because that order has to come through a Indian post. Now there are a lot of courier companies have got open, like Delhi delivery is there, we have a Blue Dart is there. Okay, there are a lot of courier service are there. Now you can get your order into the remotest place also within 2 to 3 days, which shows how these global supply chain, local supply chains are getting connected. Okay, so even pharmaceutical companies are there, Tata 1mg is there, right? Tata 1mg. Okay, you can order your medicines from there, and within 2 to 3 days you will get. But if you are living in a big city, you will get within the same day, or a certain within some hours also. So this shows how the global supply chain and integration has happened. It's just like we have to take the benefit out of all these things. Okay, so here you can see now we have a 2 years of Gati Shakti plan was there. Okay, under that we have created a national master's plan for multi-modal connectivity. Okay, 200 projects of the state identify for logistic efficiency, 95 town identify for the railway connectivity, and 2000 inter-ministerial issue have. So this is what a Gati Shakti, how we are solving the issue, how we are building the infrastructure, and how we are connecting the country. Okay, so here you can see we have a project worth rupees 11.70 lakh crore evaluated. 156 last mile and first mile connectivity project identified. Okay, last mile connectivity projects are also being taken over here. Road connectivity to 2000 railways goods shed has been already planned under Gati Shakti. Okay, here you can see Bharat text, it is related to the textile. Okay, textile, this is also a part of making in India out of 27 product. Like, so here there was a largest textile mega event that has happened during the time of February. Okay, under Bharat Mandapam. Okay, so global companies have participated over here. Okay, so they have all shown their global shown their innovative products, sustainable practices. Okay, we know that India, because India is historically known as the exporter of the textile. Okay, India product is being utilized everywhere in the world during the British time, before the British time, or like thousands of years. It is the whole process is there. Okay, so India is the leader in all these textile products. Okay, and during that time, government has launched textile grand innovation product, and 550 memorandum of understanding has been signed. Prime Minister Mitra Park, mega integrated textile regional apparel park, 7 places: Uttar Pradesh Lucknow, Maharashtra Amravati, Telangana Warangal, Tamil Nadu Virudhunagar, then Karnataka Kalaburgi, Gujarat Navsari, and Madhya Pradesh Dhar. These places are being identified where PM Mitra Park, that is mega integrated textile park will be created, and for that budgetary outlay, that is around 4,445 crore has been sanctioned for 2027 to 28. So this is how, which shows that how we are moving towards Make in India and developing the Make in India. Okay, here you can say production link incentive scheme, 60 lakh employment has been generated under PLI schemes only. 60 lakh employment have been generated, especially under the PLI scheme only. This is again a very, very important thing. Okay, here under the Pradhan Mantri Integrated Textile PM Mitra, you can see there is a 5F vision was there. World-class plug-and-play infrastructure, training, research, innovation hub, big boost to export, help achieve economic of the scale, and FDI and global manufacturing. Okay, so the main now in so this is in Maharashtra we are talking about. Okay, so in now Maharashtra they are attracting around 10,000 crore of investment. Okay, and they are trying to create 1 lakh employment and creating indirect employment of 2 lakh people. Okay, then regarding Atmanirbhar Bharat package, so here we can see how in the defense manufacturing, the Tata Airbus has signed and make C295 aircraft. C295 transport aircraft facility will be generated in the Gujarat. Okay, so this has inculcated 3,000 indirect jobs, 600 skill jobs, 42.5 man hours of work, and 3,000 medium scale opportunities have been generated on there. So this aircraft has been produced with the help of Tata Airbus C295 manufacturing facility that will be created, and they will be manufacturing C295 transport aircraft. And here you can see we are expecting that by in 22-23 that we are expecting that around $100 billion of FDI investment we will be getting. Okay, and obviously we have not just now crossed this mark right now, but yeah, in the near future we will be crossing this mark at a very, very higher pace, and we will be able to deliver much more than that in the coming time. So guys, this is all for today. I hope you all have enjoyed the session, and we will be once this portion will be over, so we will be going with the current affairs session. So we will be getting, and all the data of the current affair will be also included in the coming session, because every day, every time, every month the current affair keeps on changing. So we try to provide you with the static information and some very, very important aspects to each and everything. So please be attentive in this session. Please make sure that you make notes of this session. You will not have to go anywhere else to read anything. You will be getting all the things here itself. So this is a one-stop solution for your integrated preparation over here. So thank you so much. Bye bye, take care, and have a good day.